How's it going, everybody, and welcome back. It's been a long time coming. It's been a long delay since the release of this game, but the good news is that Ted Lasso is back, and he's back to PES 2018 Master League mode. So let's get right into it here. Let's not waste any time. Start up a new Master League, and boy, I've been ready for it for a while now. It's been a lot of work going in with the new challenge mode. Is going to make it even more of a risk that Ted Lasso made this move. So a little backstory for those of you not familiar with Ted Lasso. We started this journey in FIFA 16 where we did a career mode with Ted Lasso, a former American football coach who got a break-in, like coached Tottenham for a couple hours and then got presumably fired because he didn't know anything about the game of soccer. And then he managed to somehow, in later years, managed to get a job at Newport County in Wales in League 2, and spent 3 seasons there with a very, very tough 3 years. We couldn't get out of League 2 until the final year. We made it into the playoffs and won the playoffs in League 2. Got promoted up to League 1, and Ted decided it was time to move on. He wanted to go to a bigger challenge. And that's when PES 17 came out, and we jumped over to that Master League from FIFA, and Ted landed in London trying to get some redemption back at QPR. And he spent 2 seasons at QPR. He proved he could hang in the championship. It was a big step up in the competition for what he was used to in League 2. But he did a good enough job, but enough to get some interest from other teams late in his second season. And QPR wanted him, but he decided he wanted to try his hand at another position in England. He felt QPR just wasn't going to get to where he needed to go. So there was a lot of offers on the table. We had a Twitter poll and everything, and it was just neck and neck between Sheffield Wednesday and Norwich City. And we're going to decide in this episode who Ted Lasso choose. So we're going to play the challenge mode, obviously. Talked about this. The difficulty right now will be top player. If I find the difficulty to be too easy, as my team spirit gets up there, I'll probably bump that up to superstar, maybe even legendary. We'll see. I think in the past I've been doing 20-25 minutes. I'm going to knock it down to 15 just to save some time in the editing, because these videos do take a long time, and I want to try to cram as much gameplay in a video. I want to try to do at least 3 to 4 matches a video. Everything looks good here. Let's go ahead and get started. And as you know, Ted Lasso is a good old American boy. And so let's do a little power of video editing here, and I'll go ahead and get Lasso drawn up here. All right, there he is, little Ted Lasso, looking good as ever. Didn't take me too long to build him there, looking pretty sharp. So there we see, we're ready to rock and roll here with Ted Lasso here as we move on here to the Master League. Obviously, we're going to do a club team lineup. He will stay in the championship. There was an offer to do a Serie B team, but that didn't win the vote. I would have loved to see Ted maybe get out of the championship, but you guys want to see him succeed in the championship, so that's where he'll go. So where will he end up? So guys, sit back and let's head to the some breaking news here as Ted Lasso is beginning to make his announcement for his new manager role here in the PES Master League. And here he comes, boys, walking out here to the big table here in front of reporters and everybody. They're dying to know where Ted's going to go for his next managerial gig. And there you can see it's Norwich City have snagged Ted Lasso from QPR. What a move by the Canaries here as they snag the high-profile American manager here as he's looking to promote maybe this team up to the Premier League next season. So Norwich City got the bid, and it really came down to just, I think Ted liked Norwich City set up a little bit better with the veterans that were in the system. It was ready to move up to the next level. But let's see the club secretary. Let me be the first to congratulate you on taking the helm of Norwich City. Well, thanks. I'm the club secretary. I can't wait to start working with you. The club staff will make sure you have all the information you need to run the club. We're in the transfer window at the moment, which means you've got 1 month to get your team ready for the upcoming season. Yep. And we're taking a look at the main schedule. We start the championship on the 15th. Got some national team announcements the 21st. FIFA, or the UEFA Best Player in Europe Award. Then we got a rivalry match in match day 5 against Ipswich Town. And then the transfer window closes the day of the month. And here's the new feature, the challenge mode, the owner. You're going to love it in Norwich City. I got a good feeling you're going to do wonders here. So the owner's pretty confident in Ted's abilities to maybe do something. I think we've just outgrown this division. By the end of the season, I want to see us promoted. So the owner has some pretty lofty goals to start off Ted Lasso. He wants him to go up right away. So the pressure is definitely on for little Teddy boy here as he takes over the realm here at Norwich City, a team that's always been on the cusp of breaking into the Premier League. The last 2 seasons, Ted played the championship, but not quite making it through. And the club secretary let us know the transfer window is open, and we do have an offer for one of our players. So, like I said, in this episode of gameplay, we're just going to kind of break down the squad a little bit and kind of go over things one thing at a time. First, we'll just look at the squad real quick. So we know the sports director, we got 2 different things. Let's set up the scouting first before I forget. So we're going to look for scouted players here. And in the past, I usually just put this on bolster weak spots, but I'm going to look for just kind of general positions, forwards, midfielders, and defenders. We're going to stick to the rules here. I have little rules for my scouting. Since we're on the championship, a lower tier of the English League, I'm only allowed to scout England at this point. So any players are in England are fair game. Europe, if I want to scout anything in that, I got to get promoted to the Premier League. And then I can open up that realm. And if if Ted gets Norwich City to European football, then a qualification, then I can open up to world scouting. So that's how I'm going to play it from now, and just set up scouting. Just kind of make it progressive, so we can get better players, have a broad range of players after we find some success. Oh man, it's so good to be back. I've been tinkering with the Master Leagues for a little bit, and it's going to be quite the challenge, I can tell already. Here we get a list of new players here. We'll just start by overall, just to be easy. Our best player is Houlihan here. He is a Irish player, team player. So here's how I'm going to handle it. His contract's coming up. He is pretty old, I believe. He's 35. Yep, 35 years old. Alright, so I felt last year I was learning Ted was still learning how the championship worked, and he kind of sold his older players off too quickly. This year, I think we're going to hold on to some of this experienced players. And one of the criteria for a player that will stick around at the club is the team role. If they have a team role at the squad already, I'm not going to let them go. I mean, unless somebody comes in and buys out their contract. But I'm not going to sell them. So my policy is going to be keep the players that will do have a team role in this team, because I want them to build camaraderie, and that stuff's eventually going to help us with the poor team spirit we start off right off the bat. And you see we got a center back close here. He's a creator, so we're going to keep him on the policy as well. Varanic, protege, so he gets to stay on board as well. We got McGovern here, our goalkeeper. He's free game. Steve Naismith, former Everton player. He's still playing over there. He's getting up there in H2, so we do have some experience here that I want to keep on the squad as long as I can. Let's see, he's 31. You know, the keeper's 33. These guys are well in their prime or starting to decline. So I think it's good to have that kind of experience here as the season progresses. Tete, we're going to keep as a leader. As you can see, just going to kind of scroll through the players, see who we have. Jarvis, our star player, going to help with that bonus. And we got Josh Murphy, who's a youth prospect. We will keep them. I think Ted's goal this season is to really develop players here at Norwich City. Make it a very developmental powerhouse and just develop the players we have and continue to bring in new talent that will impress the team even more for the long run. And, alright, so here's an offer for Matthews. He is our 4th-string goalkeeper at the moment. Transfer offer has been received. The sports director thinks we got some room to negotiate. I'm not really feeling this deal, to be honest. What do you think long and hard about bringing the right players? Alright, so since the sports director isn't too confident on this deal, I know he's never going to play for the team as it stands right now, but maybe we could develop him to be something, you know, that we can make some money off the long run. He's got a long contract, so he's here for a while. Let's take a look at this deal and see where it's at. Beijing Guiyang, that's one of the Chinese Super League teams. I did add some Chinese Super League teams to this game. As you'll find out, there are absolutely 0 fake teams in this game. All the teams are real, all have real kits. It's part of the long lead time before we can start this Master League is to get all the right players and the right teams in the game. Get rid of, there's 0 fake teams in it, which I'm really stoked about this season. Let's see if see how far we can go here. Okay, so we can up it there. Alright, so I think with the sports director comments saying he doesn't really feel this deal, I'm going to end negotiation. I'll wait for a better deal to come. You know, will we need him? Probably not, but I'm not, like, wanting to... My goal is to keep a full squad. I'm not going to, like, cut all these players that aren't never going to play for us and then just sign superstars just because I have the budget for it. This is going to be a long-haul build. This is never about, you know, getting the team all the way up into the Champions League in 2 seasons. It's about Ted Lasso's journey to become the best manager he could be and prove all the English critics wrong. So, youth team. I have made a lot of changes to the youth team. This is not your default youth team. Since this year, you can train and even loan players out from your youth team. You can offer them, looks like you can offer players a youth team contract at any time, which is nice. You can negotiate loan transfers for players in the youth team by adding them to the loan list. And if they get an agreement on, they'll get promoted to the first team. Sounds good. So I've gone ahead and edited their stats. So all of them now are about the same level. I've actually gone in. Let's see if I can get some details here. Yeah, that'll be good enough. I've actually gone in and put in players that aren't in the game or in the ready. I basically got most of their information off of FIFA's database and put it in the game myself, just over at the fake players and put real players in here and tried to make them look as realistic as I could. As you can see, this is all of Europe. Most of them are France, English, and German, mixed in with some other European nations as well. But this is another thing I'm excited for. We're going to train these guys and see if we can bring these guys up to from the youth team. I think most of them are 18, if I'm not mistaken. 18, 17, 18, some 16-year-olds thrown in there. So they're going to be in here for a while because they don't drop until they're 20, I think, if I believe that's correct. So, you know, we get a chance to really grow these players. So this is kind of a side project, this Master League. We're gonna do a test to see if these players can get some growth in here, maybe crack the senior squad. So I'll look forward to that, boys and girls, and maybe we'll send some out loan, you know, get some deals going. But that is it for the team itself. let's take a look at team status real quick. So here we can view the performance of the manager, the team status. This is the new thing they added. And you can see the team spirit. We start very low, 47. We could probably wrangle that around to get it up a little higher, but that is a very low starting point for Ted Lasso. Manager's only got a 50-50 chance on Lasso. He's a little uncertain, but I think the pressure of the fans bringing in a manager to maybe, put Norwich City in that next level. Ted could do the job, maybe. But we do have our work cut out for us. Let's not kid ourselves. Norwich City are probably not in a position to challenge for automatic promotion. The playoffs are probably going to be our best bet. But will that be enough to keep our seat here? I just don't know. So let's go into training real quick and do some training. Okay. Alright, so here's how we're going to handle training for this season. Let me do another quick edit here and show you what I did with the training. Alright, through with the training finally. So what I did here is broken up the training into parts here. The senior squad, I'm going to focus on physicality and speed. The reason for that is I want to make sure their fitness is up to par for playing these matches. We're playing a pretty high tempo tactic here to start Ted Lasso's reign here at Norwich City. So all these players are either improving their physical or their speed stats, just where I felt like they need improvement. The goalkeepers, obviously you can't trade the goalkeepers, so they get a role, the defensive goalkeeper role. Now you see some of these players already have playing styles, and here's another kind of rule I'm going to put in place for this Master League. And with the player roles, playing styles, I will only train playing styles for a player if that player is on a dramatic improvement coming into a game, or if he suddenly gets the flashing arrow and I'm getting a dramatic improvement. That means I could decide, Ted will have to decide what playing style he's going to fit, or if he has one, maybe change it or use the one he's got. So that's the only time I'm going to switch out their training. But for the most part, I want to focus on getting, for my senior players, physicality and speed. Now for the youth team players that I'm training, they obviously need to get the fundamentals down. So we're going to focus them on getting their other stats up to passing, their dribbling, their defensive stats, their shooting stats. So I've gone through each of these players and picked out a training regime that they need to improve on, and hopefully this will pay dividends. Obviously the same thing with the goalkeepers. They're going to be set to defensive goalkeeping. I'm going to try that out this year. Usually I do offensive goalkeeping, but this year it's like, yeah, I want to do something different. Yeah, this guy right here, G. Middleton, he's an actual youth player for Norwich City, the Scottish 17-year-old, so we'll be really keeping an eye on him. Maybe we'll call him up, but he starts out pretty low at a 54. I tried my best to keep these guys as close as possible, so they're all below 60, but higher than 50 in some cases. So that's how I'm going to deal with training, and I've already set my skill training up. And I think that's about it for this first episode. I know I talked a lot about just kind of glancing over stuff here and there, but let's take a look at this team here. As far as the attack, the kind of tactics we got, we know we have a low team spirit here, and we can kind of see why here. Counterattack seems to be the favored. That's with a short build-up, wide attacking area, and flexible positioning. I'm okay with that. It's pretty high-tempo offense for the most part. I'm not a really big fan of putting flexible counterattack, but until we build up the team spirit, there's not much we can do here. Defense, frontline pressure, and with wide containment, and you can either do aggressive or conservative. From just my initial impressions of how this team is set up. They're set up to be a very aggressive team, very high pressure team, and try to break you on the counterattacks. So it's going to be interesting how I set up this team, because it's kind of set up for counterattacking, but we want to press high up the pitch as well. So once we win possession, we're looking to just penetrate space right away. But until we build the team spirit up, that's just what we're going to have to do for the time being. So that's going to end the first episode. Here goes Ted Lasso's been appointed manager at Norwich City. They've been looking for a winning manager, but can he get the job done here in this Challenge Master League series? So I hope you guys have been excited for this announcement. I can't wait to start playing this game. I did release a video with a channel update about what's going on. We won't be getting to the gameplay right away, but hopefully as soon as I'm set up in the new house, I'll start cramming out an episode here and really start getting into this Master League. But that is the intro, guys. It's been a long time coming. I'd like to thank everyone for your patience and wondering where the hell is Lasso? Where's he been? He's been taking a holiday while Reaper here tries to get the files going the way it should be. So stay tuned for the next episode, guys. It'll be a good one. We'll get started out in the league here and hopefully get off on the right foot, as Ted Lasso's the manager now of the Canaries here in Norwich. So that's it for me, guys. I hope to see you next time, and take care.